There are so many different ways to manifest, and you may be feeling overwhelmed with which one is the best, which one should you focus on, should you do all of them, how much time does it take? Today, I'm going to go through the 4 main methods of manifestation that I have used, and I'm going to rate them on effort, time, and success rate. I'll also give you a short little description and a how-to for each of them. Hello, my name is Abbey Drew, and on this channel, we talk manifestation, and we also do some helpful guidance tarot card readings. If you would like to ask me a manifestation question privately, you can submit one through my website, moodandmoonthings.com. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can also find that on my website. I'll put the link in the description below. Be sure to like and subscribe because we're only going to get more and more content and get better and better at manifesting. I have been on a manifestation journey since 2020. Like most people in 2020, I was like, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to fix things? How do I get what I want? I was also at a pivotal time. I was at the end of my uni degree. And so I was thinking about how am I going to create the future that I want. So I've been on a manifestation journey for almost 5 years now, and I've learned so much, and I've become such a good manifester, if I do say so myself. And today I'm going to go through my success stories, my different methods of manifestation, and I'm going to give you a how-to guide and a rating for which one may work best for you. Okay, so let's get into it. The first method of manifestation I want to talk about is scripting. Now, I'll be a little bit biased. This is my favorite method. It's like journaling about the thing that you want as if you already have it. That's the very simple explanation of scripting. It's about writing in detail. It's about immersing yourself in the moment or in the feeling, in the lifestyle of having the thing that you want. So when you're scripting, it's important to use past tense. I like to add a bit of gratitude into it. And I personally like really flowery, descriptive language. I like to talk about how I'm feeling. Some people script like, I have such and such and such. I am now blah, 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 blah. For me, I need to add in lots of details to really like get myself in the feeling and like get things moving, get the energy moving. So I'll be like, I am so happy to be hanging out with my friends all the time. We have so much fun together. We laugh so hard and I feel so close to them, and we do really fun things like we boulder together and we hang out, we have movie nights, and I just sort of build it and build it and build it and build it with descriptive language, emotional language to really ground myself in the experience. It's also important when you're writing to be very like relaxed. You just want to see sort of what comes out so you can see what your desire really looks like, and you're building out the sort of picture of what you want. And remembering to always write it as if you already have it or if it's happening now. And I like to add a bit of gratitude as well. When I'm scripting, I'll often light a candle, put on some meditation music or a subliminal, just to help set the mood, set the tone, and to make me focus on that moment. For me, scripting or any manifestation method is a little bit of magic. So I like to light a candle, or I like to use sparkly pens, and my scripting book is iridescent. I like to choose things that make me think of magic, that make me feel powerful and light. So I'm going to give you some examples of what my scripting journals look like. And you can see that they're very colorful. I do little insert pages, and I have little catchphrases like manifesting like magic. So I just like to make it playful, make it magical for me. Like, I'm a person who loves color, so I will put color everywhere and it makes me feel very happy. If you're a person who likes more opulence, maybe you want to use a gold pen or a really fancy, like, you know, those like really nice pens that can make you feel like you're writing with like a magic wand. Things like that, just to make it personal to you and make you feel like it is magical. These are some of the successes that I have had. Just a couple of many. So there was a trip to Tasmania that I wanted to join my boyfriend at the time on, and we were trying to get flights, and it was just after the borders had opened. So we were worried that, and it was around Christmas time as well, so we were worried that we weren't going to get something, that it was going to be super expensive. So I manifested that we easily got flights to Tasmania for under $200 return, and we did. I also manifested going to Europe with my boyfriend at the time and being able to pay for that easily. The bottom 3 that you can see are all my daily manifestations. So I do this practice where almost every night before I go to sleep, I write, today, blah, blah, blah. Like, today, the 13th of November was an amazing day. I blah, 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 this happened, blah, 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 it made me so happy, da, 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 da. And it's all for the next 24 hours for the next day. And I've been doing this since about September, and I've had a lot of success with it. So these 3 down here are examples from that. So I had positive comments on my social medias and positive business developments, like getting my decks and candles in a store on a shelf, getting orders, etc., that kind of thing. I've also manifested messages and calls from friends and business collaboration messages as well. One of my favorite ones is the surprise love life development. So I'm single currently, and I wasn't on dating apps. I wasn't looking or doing anything. And I just for fun wrote, my love life had a surprising development or something like that one day. I had absolutely no plans to do anything regarding my love life the next day. So I was like, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but we'll just throw it in for fun. And what happened was, that night, my cousin and her boyfriend came over for dinner, and my cousin's boyfriend was like, my housemate is so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Abby, you should meet him. And at the end of the night, I was like, do you want to set me up with your housemate? And he was like, yes, like that's what I've been trying to tell you. And so he gave my number to his housemate, and we ended up talking for a little bit and going on a date and whatnot. And I was not expecting that at all. So that was a really cool one. That was a really nice surprise. Sometimes I like to keep it general, or I like to say, surprise me with this, or I had a beautiful gift or a beautiful moment here, just to keep it general and just to make life fun as well. Okay, so now on the rating. So the first category is effort. So we have time commitment, the physical effort, and how involved it is. How involved is like how much energy, mind occupation it takes. So time, it takes quite a bit of time to write it out. Like some nights, on my daily ones, it's not so bad because I only do like a page. And so that's probably like 10 minutes maximum. But on my like long-term ones or my general life ones, they sometimes take me half an hour, depending on how much in the flow I am. I just keep on writing. So it can take quite a bit of time commitment and physical effort as well. Your hand can get sore if you're writing things out, and you obviously have to have the book, you have to have the pen and whatnot. But it is just writing. Like, it's not super difficult. In terms of involvement, it's not super involved because once you've written it down, you don't have to reread it. You can if you want to. Like with my daily ones, I write it at night and then I reread it in the morning, but you don't have to reread it. You can just write it and set it and forget it. So it's not super involved either. So for time commitment, I gave it a 2 out of 4. For physical effort, I gave it a 2 out of 4. And for involvement, I gave it a 1 out of 2. Giving it an overall rating of 5 out of 10 for effort. And remember, we want low effort and high success. Now to the success rating. The categories are time to manifest, did it succeed or not, like success rate, and how easily, was there a lot of resistance or was it quite smooth sailing? The quickest that this has worked is like 12 hours. That's my daily ones. The next day, it's there, or I wake up and that thing has happened, or I've got that message. So 12 to 24 hours is the quickest this has happened for me. And the longest is, well, it depends. Like sometimes I have long-term manifestations that are like 4 months ahead, but they happen in the time that I want them to happen. For daily manifestations, sometimes things don't happen on the day that I've written them, and I notice that they happen 3 to 4 days later. So there can be a little bit of a delay there, but know that it's always going to come at some point if you've asked for it and if you've written it down. But the quickest 12 to 24 hours, which I think is pretty good. Success rate with scripting, I have a success rate of 75 to 100%. Sometimes with my daily manifestations, every single thing happens. And sometimes it's about 75%, never less than that though. Same with long-term and general manifestations as well, 75 to 100%, which I think is amazing. The ease depends on your resistance to the topic. So things like the surprises or the, fun little ones, very easily because there's no resistance, because there's no attachment to it, because it's not specific. Sometimes, like the ones that end up being delayed a couple of days, it might be because I'm very attached to it or I want it a lot. So you'll notice that the ease with all of the methods that we talk about has a lot to do with your own feelings, your own standard, your own resistance to the specific topics. But scripting can sometimes help you move the resistance, because once you're in the flow state of writing, then you're embodying having that thing. So, and rereading it and reminding yourself can be a good way to overcome resistance. Time to manifest, I gave it a 3 out of 3. Very, very quick. Success rate, I gave it a 3 out of 4 for 75%. And ease, I gave it a 3 out of 3 because it is all to do with your resistance to the topic, not to do with the method at all, and it can help you move through it. So overall, the success is rated 9 out of 10 for scripting. Okay, the second method I'd like to talk about is vision boards or vision books. This is a visual representation of your goals, aspirations, and dream life. It is usually reserved for long-term manifestations. 6 to 12 months is a good ballpark. 6 to 12 months or even up to 2 years, I think, is a good time range for the things you want to manifest on your vision board. How you create it is you get images of the things that you want or that represent the type of life you want to live. Pinterest is a great way to do it. I personally have like 5 different Pinterest boards. I have a money one, a career one, relationships, physical appearance or like aesthetic one, dream home, and actually travel as well, or travel/experiences. So I create those organically. I think you can do it all in one day and just look for the things that you want, but I like to sort of build it up with things that I genuinely look at and I'm like, yes, I want that. So give yourself some time to organically build up your Pinterest boards. Then you print them out, or you can make a digital one. Like I have one as my desktop background. So you could make a digital one and have it there on your computer or your phone screen as well, or you can print it out and make a physical copy. And I like those as well. I put them either inside my wardrobe so that I can see it every day when I get dressed, or like on the back of my bedroom door so I see it every day before I leave my room. I like to add affirmations to my vision board as well to help me align with the things that I want, because it's about embodying that person who you want to be as well. I also like to, when I put it together, is group the different areas of my life together. So I'll put all like the business stuff together, I'll put all the aesthetic stuff together, I'll put all the house stuff together, all the travel stuff together with the specific affirmations that go with those different areas of my life. I love to, again, make it fun, make it magical, make it aesthetic. So sparkles, I love colors, things that remind you of magic. If you're into opulence, maybe you want to make it gold and black and baroque, or if you're into like pop art, you want to make it like bright and cartoony. Whatever you're into, make it personal to you and make it so that when you look at it, you feel really happy. I've also this year, this is my current one, started a vision book, and it's literally a book, and it's so I can add heaps, and I've also left spaces to write affirmations, write scripting amongst the pictures, which you can see in the examples. So that's a really interesting take on the vision board, I think, anyway, because it's like scripting meets vision board, and I love the visual stimulus and the visual reminders for what I want, and to be able to build on that with my scripting. It's like, if you're going to read something before bed, you might as well read your dream life and manifest it. I've also got some other examples of my previous vision boards. The one in the middle is still my current one. Things have come true with that. My hair has grown. I had a lot of hair ones on that one, and my hair has become magnificent in the past 6 months. My previous vision board to that was in 2020. They're the ones on the sides and the bottom. You can see the pole dance photos there. I was doing pole dancing as a student, like pole fitness classes, and then I became an instructor after making this vision board, which is really, really cool. Then I had a lot of relationship ones. I'd never been in a relationship before at the time of making this vision board in 2020. And I put a lot of relationship ones of like little picnic dates and quotes and affirmations about love. And I entered into my first long-term relationship about a year later. So within 12 months of making this vision board, which is really cool. Now for the rating. So time commitment, I would say it initially is a lot of time commitment, making the Pinterest boards or like curating the images, printing them out or cutting them out digitally, whatever you're doing, and then collaging them together. It can take a day, 2 days, or more if you're a perfectionist. So it does have a very significant time commitment initially. But after that, once you've made it, it's just looking at it on a day-to-day basis for a few seconds. So initial outlay, lots of time commitment. Long-term time commitment, hardly anything. Similarly, the physical effort is a lot initially for that day, 2 days of creation, and then afterwards there's actually no physical effort required. It is quite involved to put it all together, to curate it, to make it aesthetic, to make it your vibe, to fit it all together. It is quite involved. For time commitment, I've put 2 out of 4. For physical effort, I put 1 out of 4. And for involvement, 2 out of 2, which gave it an overall rating of 5 out of 10 for effort. For success, again, this is long-term projects, long-term goals, long-term manifestation. So the time, it's not fast, but you may see shifts very soon afterwards, like within a month of creating a vision board, you may see little shifts working your way towards your vision board. Success rate, I would say 50 to 60% for me personally. Again, it's long-term, so it's hard to measure because maybe these things will come a year later. But I'd say 50 to 60% very successful. I've also manifested travel as well. So maybe I'm gonna say 60%. How easily it manifested? I think quite easily, because with vision boards, I find that I don't think about it daily, because it's not like scripting where I'm doing it daily, or affirmations where I'm, putting in effort. It's just looking at it to get that visual reminder. And so it's quite easy because you find yourself attuning to the things that you want without even realizing it, because you're just looking at it every day. So for time to manifest, I put 1 out of 3. For success rate, I put 2 out of 4. And for ease, 3 out of 3, which gave it an overall score of 6 out of 10 for success. The third method of manifestation I want to talk about is affirmations or guided meditations. Affirmations are I am statements that are designed to change your mind, your perspective, your beliefs, and therefore your behavior, and what you allow into your life and what you seek. They essentially are brainwashing yourself to success. The ways to use affirmations are you can either listen to pre-recorded ones and say them out loud, like repeat them back. You can write them down yourself and then reread or repeat it out loud. When you're making your own manifestations, it's important to say an I am statement. So if you're trying to manifest love, instead of saying so-and-so loves me so much, say I am loved so much by so-and-so, etc. You also want to state it in the positive. Instead of saying I am never late to work, you would say I am always on time for work. And that's how you frame it in the positive, not in the not negative way. I like to use affirmations as a supporting method to my other methods of manifestation. I think it's really important to make the foundation for the manifestation that you're creating healthy and positive with affirmations and with rewiring your brain. I don't particularly ever use them by themselves. I would say they're a better supporting tool. One really positive thing about affirmations is when negative doubts come in or negative beliefs about yourself that are blocking you from manifestations, you can redirect your energy, your focus to the affirmation. So let's say you're driving along and you suddenly have the habitual thought of, oh, I never have enough money. When you have negative thoughts like that, that's just an example. When you have negative thoughts like that, you can train yourself to redirect your attention to, you have that thought, and then you say, no, I am always abundant, or no, I can have anything I want. Whatever the affirmation is for you around money, you redirect your attention to that as an immediate reaction to any doubts that are creeping in. And it's just mindfulness, and it's just retraining your brain. It's all psychological. As I say, I use them as a supporting tool. Some of my favorite channels are Leo Alexandra for her affirmation playlist, and Aaron Dowdy for his affirmation playlist and his guided meditations as well. Michael Seeley is a really good one. Jason Stevenson's a really good one. There are so many wonderful affirmation creators on YouTube as well. I will link any that I use in the description below. So let's get to rating. So effort for time commitment, it's pretty high because you want to do them in the morning when you wake up and definitely at night before you go to sleep. We want to do this because we want it to be the last thought we have before we go to sleep and the first thought we have when we wake up. Also, again, throughout the entire day, you can continuously remind yourself of these affirmations if any other thoughts creep in. Physical commitment, moderate, I would say. If you're writing them, it's obviously a lot more, but saying aloud, having the time and space to say it out loud without interruptions can be a little bit of a challenge for some people. So moderate physical effort. In terms of involvement, I would say quite involved because it's a very physical method, because you're saying it or you're writing it, you're speaking it out loud, you're doing it in the morning, you're doing it at night. You have to find the affirmations that fit for you as well. And one thing I will say with affirmations is if you're listening to affirmations and you feel yourself getting triggered and it's like, oh, that's not true for me. Like, let's say the affirmation is, I am a multi-millionaire, and you're like, oh, like that's not true. You might want to sort of scale it until it feels just a little bit above where you're at. So maybe if it's not I'm a multi-millionaire, maybe it's money is always coming to me from different directions. And if it's not that, maybe it's I always have enough money to live my best life. And if it's not that, maybe it's even simpler, like I am so grateful for all the money I have in my life right now. Sometimes we have so much resistance that the affirmation is actually working against us because it's reinforcing negative beliefs because it feels so foreign. So we want to sort of make it as close to ourselves as where we're at now so that we can match it. Time commitment, 4 out of 4. Physical effort, 3 out of 4. Involvement, 2 out of 2. So had a really high effort score of 9 out of 10. Remember, we want low effort, high success. Let's talk success. So for time, I would say within the next 3 days, you start seeing movement and changes. I've noticed these ones when I've done affirmations on like physical appearance, like saying, I am glowing, I am radiant, I am stunning, etc., etc. Within the next few days, lots of people then are telling me, Abby, you look radiant, you look stunning, you're gorgeous. And how you know it's working is because they're using the exact words that you used in your affirmation. For success rate, it's hard to measure because again, I use it as a supporting tool, but I would say 65 to 95% success rate. I would say 65% manifestation success rate and 95% mindset shift. And the mindset shift is going to be the thing that's going to change your life the most because it's changing your experience of the world. With ease, again, it can be triggering, so it can actually build up a lot of resistance, but we talked about how we're going to manage that. So overall, time, I gave it a 2 out of 3. Success, a 2 out of 4. And ease, 2 out of 3. An overall success rating of 6 out of 10. Our final method of manifestation is visualization. So you've probably heard of like SATS or Neville Goddard's technique of having the little fantasy play out in your head just before you go to sleep. This is that, visualization. So it's essentially using your imagination to craft a short scene that embodies what having your manifestation would look like in your life, and you replay that and try and immerse yourself in the feeling of it. So you might visualize yourself going on a date with your specific person. You might visualize yourself receiving a text from someone or an email from a job application. You might visualize yourself standing in the mirror, looking at your body, looking at your hair, your skin in the way you want it to look. You might visualize yourself at the airport about to get on a plane to your destination of choice, etc. Recommended to do this as you're going to sleep. And again, when you wake up, again, we're just getting ourselves right before we go to sleep and when we wake up, so it's our sort of bookends of our day and getting us in those very relaxed states. But also you can use this visualization technique any time of the day. I've used it in the middle of the day to manifest something within an hour. So use it any time of the day. I'm personally not a huge fan of visualization on its own, one because my mind goes like this and I get very distracted, so it's hard for me to stay on track. Or my visualization keeps like adapting and changing, and so it's hard for me to repeat the exact same one. I usually do it when I'm wanting to manifest something very, very specific. I used it once. I remember I was about to go into work and I used it to manifest a text message from two different friends who I wanted to hear from about either hanging out or I wanted them to invite me to hang out. And within the hour, I had received those texts. So I visualized those people texting me. I visualized seeing it on my screen, seeing it on my notifications. And I also, along with that, I also told myself affirmations about them wanting to text me, wanting to hang out with me, liking me, etc. Let's get to the rating. Effort. So time commitment. It's not much time commitment at all. It's a couple seconds, literally. Physical effort. Very low physical effort. As long as you have an imagination, you can do this task. The physical effort is not the challenge with this one. It's believing in it. It's immersing yourself in it and knowing that it's not a delulu. It's a real thing. It's a thing that you're visualizing, you're bringing into yourself. It's not a fantasy. They're different things. It's you visualizing something that is coming into your life. 100%. Very low involvement. 1 out of 4 for time, 1 out of 4 for physical effort, and 1 out of 2 for involvement. So 3 out of 10. So very low effort rating on this one. For success, in terms of time to succeed, I have experienced 1 hour or less. So very fast to succeed. For success rate, I have a limited sample because I don't prefer this method, so I don't have a lot of examples, but I would say 50-50. So 50% success rate from my own experience. In terms of ease, again, it comes back to belief and it comes back to the power of your imagination. If you're like me, someone who gets very distracted inside their mind, then this may be a little bit more challenging for you. Rating, time to succeed, 2 out of 3. Success rate, 1 out of 4. Ease, 2 out of 3. Overall rating for success is 5 out of 10. Let's get to the overall conclusion about which one is the best manifestation method. So regarding effort, we want low effort. That's better. Let's start with the worst. The worst for effort was affirmations. I just think it takes too much effort. So effort, the worst was affirmations, meaning it takes the most effort. Second to that was vision boards or vision books. That takes a lot of physical effort. The second best effort was scripting, in my opinion. And the first was visualization. That is definitely the easiest in terms of effort. Now for success, which is probably the one you're most excited about. The worst for success was visualization. The second worst for success was the vision board, because it takes such a long time for it to come to fruition. It's a 6 to 12 months, remember. Affirmations was the second best one for success. Immediate or within a few days change of mindset and seeing results of your outside world shifting. The best one for success was scripting, within 24 hours and a 75 to 100% success rate. Overall, the worst manifestation method was affirmation. The second worst was vision boards and vision books. The second best was visualization. And the best one was scripting. And I said I was going to be biased, but the maths didn't lie. Scripting was the best. If you have any more questions or want to know more about each of these methods, I will be doing future videos on each of these methods in detail. And you're welcome to submit your manifestation questions either in the comments below or through my website if you want to stay private with your manifestation. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to hear all about your manifestation journey. My name is Abby. Subscribe, follow for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.